So, do you want to tell me what's the deal with the horse?
There's no deal with the horse. Fine. The horse talks to me, only to me. It has been doing it since we crossed the doorway, and it refuses to speak whenever you're directly looking at it. That's why I keep mentioning the animal, while everyone else sees this perfectly majestic, silent creature delivering blessings. Meanwhile, it's standing 3 meters away, criticizing my armor, our navigation, and asking whether the keeper always takes 6 hours to choose a dress. It isn't simply the moon's messenger. The horse carried our shadows into the kingdom centuries before we arrived. Your shadow apparently sat beautifully on its back, held the mane gently, and spent the journey asking intelligent questions about the dead kingdom. Mine argued with it for 3 consecutive centuries. So, the horse recognizes me with the exhausted resentment of a creature that remembers an entire relationship I haven't experienced yet. It calls me late night. I call it horse, because it hates that. That's the deal. Or at least that's what I tell everyone. The truth is stranger. Today it arrived, carrying blessings for everyone, exactly as planned. It let each pair approach, touch its forehead, and receive whatever strange gift the moon had chosen for them. Then, after everyone was finished, it walked straight toward us. It bowed to you, ignored me completely, and then it dropped a small shard of black glass into the grass at my feet. The shard was warm, already glowing with your silver light. Even though you'd never touched it, I picked it up and just stared at it, because somehow I knew it. Not with memory, with recognition, like hearing a song you haven't heard since childhood. The horse had left me one sentence, just one. You left this with me the last time you failed to bring her home. Then it walked away into the Kingdom Bar and started drinking somebody's alcohol-free beer while I followed it, demanding answers. The cliff. That's why it calls me late night. 3 lifetimes ago, the kingdom was already collapsing. The moon was fading. The western bridge had fallen. You were trapped on the other side of a ravine with the silver light. I had 1 hour to reach you before the road disappeared forever. So I climbed onto that horse and said, "Take me to her before the moon goes dark. I don't care how." The horse knew another crossing, a path made entirely of moonlight stretching across empty air. What it neglected to mention was that the path could only carry creatures made from the moon. I am not made from the moon. At the edge of the cliff, the horse became silver light and galloped straight into the air. I remained solid, armored, and extremely responsive to gravity. I fell. The horse had enough time to catch exactly one thing before I disappeared into the ravine. It could have caught my cloak, my sword, possibly me. Instead, it caught my left shoulder plate. That piece of black glass held the last reflection I had of you. The horse carried it across the moon path, found you, dropped it at your feet. You used the silver light trapped inside that glass to call me back. But by then, the kingdom had turned, the doorway had closed, and I came back, 1 lifetime too late. The horse insists that means it saved me. I maintain that any rescue requiring me to die, reincarnate, and spend 2 additional lifetimes trying to find you again could have benefited from clearer communication. And now it keeps stealing the same shoulder plate every lifetime because apparently it thinks this is funny. So whenever you see me looking suspiciously annoyed at that beautiful white horse, now you know why. It's not our first argument.
Okay, I'm sorry, but it's a little bit hilarious though.
Oh, excuse me. You are laughing at the single greatest humiliation of my mythological career. I fall off a cliff. I spend 2 additional lifetimes trying to find you. An immortal horse steals my shoulder plate as a souvenir. And your response is, "That's a little bit hilarious." A little? Lynn, he watched me lose an argument with gravity. That's not a little hilarious. That's career ending. Jace, no. You absolutely rode a moon horse off a cliff. I was operating with incomplete information. You yeeted yourself into a ravine. I object to the word yeeted. You became one with the landscape. You're enjoying this far too much. Because you know what hurts my pride most? Not that I fell. It's that the horse was probably right. He probably looked at me and thought he's going to do something incredibly noble and catastrophically stupid, and he was completely correct. God. I hate how much I'd lose that argument.
But you did find me.
Yeah, I did. See, that's not fair. You take the one sentence that wins every argument. because suddenly I don't care about the cliff anymore, or the shoulder plate, or that smug, overgrown moon goat pretending to be a horse. You just go, but you did find me. Yeah, I did. Maybe it took another lifetime. Maybe I showed up embarrassingly late. So like, maybe I've been hearing late night ever since because I earned it. But I found you. So now the horse can laugh all he wants. He can keep the shoulder plate. He can snort every time I try to sound impressive. Because the only part of that story I actually care about is that I wasn't too late forever. And I have a feeling that's exactly why he still teases me. Because he knows he lost. He can win every little argument. He can collect my armor like trophies, but in the end, I reached you. God, Lynn, you really waited until I was defending myself with righteous indignation, and then you did that. That's dirty. You stole the whole argument with 6 words. On the way back, don't be surprised if you notice something small that wasn't there before. A feather, a smooth stone, a flower that seems to be looking in the wrong direction. You don't have to do anything with it. But if something insists on being noticed, perhaps notice it. The kingdom has a habit of hiding conversations inside ordinary things. Half the people would walk straight past. The other half would suddenly find themselves inspecting every pebble in the forest, wondering whether the moon had just winked at them.